So, coming into the film, do you think that it will bring greater public awareness to nuclear risks and the role of nuclear weapons in geopolitical competition?
I definitely believe the movie is going to raise public awareness. I think even the awareness being raised around nuclear disarmament advocacy so far, even before the film was released, was quite good. And I think it's really going to raise the issue of nuclear weapons in public consciousness in a way that we haven't seen in the past 3 decades.
How do you think that audiences will react to this? Do you think it would be a surprise to know that the current nuclear capabilities are 80 times that of Oppenheimer's A bomb?
I think most of the audience will be surprised. We've sort of forgotten about the impact and the scale of nuclear weapons in public discourse. And I think this movie is definitely going to be a reminder of just how powerful these weapons are. And it's quite interesting that the special effects used in the movie are somewhat 1% of what the Trinity tests were. So I think it's going to be a stark reminder for sure.
What key messages do you hope are portrayed in the film?
Overall, I think a very sober reminder of just the power that humanity wields is going to be the most important takeaway, I hope. And I think the movie, fingers crossed, would not trivialize the impact of the nuclear weapon and will not necessarily normalize its potential use in international relations. So I really hope that this movie has a sobering effect on geopolitics and on popular discourse in general.
So, as we've come out of the film, could you tell me what the main takeaways are for you?
I would say the main takeaway for me was just how much responsibility lies with the scientific community in terms of the technologies that they propose to put in their toolbox of statecraft. So it was very interesting to see the moral dilemmas that the scientists faced, and also interesting to see the loss of control as soon as they had invented the nuclear bomb. Just to see that taken away from them and thrown into the realms of foreign policy was a very interesting dynamic. So I think that was one very key takeaway, and then the obvious takeaway, of course, which is that the consequences of nuclear war would be very devastating.
How can we ensure that a nuclear war never takes place?
I would say the single most important thing is nuclear abolition. Now, even though nuclear abolition seems to be quite a long way away in terms of its feasibility, I think that is the ultimate risk reduction, measure.
How would you compare Oppenheimer's approach to science and ethics with modern day scientists who work on sensitive technologies like artificial intelligence and biotechnology?
I think there's obvious correlations between the invention of the nuclear bomb and the emergence of artificial intelligence and other disruptive technologies. And I think we're in a unique moment in history where we're seeing the onboarding of artificial intelligence in command and control and also in nuclear command and control. And I think that there's a unique responsibility for scientists and inventors to ensure that the world understands the risks as well as the opportunities that these technologies pose.